Hey guys, Caitlin here with Healers Within Yoga Therapy. I am so excited you are watching this video. So this video is a mini healthy back class. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a certified yoga therapist here in San Diego, and I love helping and sharing therapeutic yoga for healthy back. So whether you are going through some sort of back pain now or you're looking to build strength or create space by stretching, this is a great video for you. Please always know that when I guide and when I teach, although I'm recommending and guiding you somewhere, your body is your greatest teacher. So if there's something that just doesn't quite feel right for you, listen to your body above all. I am here for you guys for support, so if you have any questions, let me know. For those of you out there that do have back pain, of course you probably already know that not every movement, meaning a forward bend or a back bend, depending on what you're going through, will feel good. So this isn't the therapeutic back practice for anyone, or for everyone, I should say. And I don't think there really is a back practice that is for everyone, but this will help with a lot of people that are just having some aches, some pains. Those of you that sit all day, this is probably going to be wonderful. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, find me on social media, Healers Within Yoga Therapy, and I am so glad you guys are here. Let me know what you think. Take care.
Bent. So when you get there, maybe you want a blanket underneath the back of your head if that feels better. You can choose whether straightening your legs would feel better or keeping them bent might feel nice. And for those of you that have current low back pain or discomfort, it can actually feel really good to bend your knees and bring your feet out a little bit wider towards the edge of your mat and let the knees draw towards each other. We'll take a couple moments and just find our breath here. One of the most important things in our yoga therapy practice is the breath and connecting the breath with our movement. So go ahead, and if it feels okay, you'll bring the arms out by your side, or you can bring the hands on the belly, maybe one on the chest and the belly. Your arms are out to the side. Allow the palms to face up as a way to keep the chest open. And then slowly just bring awareness to your breath. Just notice, without needing it to be a certain way, notice how it feels in this moment. Maybe this is the first time you've brought your awareness to your breath. Maybe today, maybe this week, maybe ever. But either way, just notice how the breath comes into the body and how it leaves. Whether you're breathing in through the nose or gently parted lips. Just begin to notice the breath as it moves. Notice what happens in the chest, the belly, the ribs even, as you take a full breath in. And notice also what happens as you take a full breath out. And if you're new to this practice and it feels a little bit daunting or overwhelming to feel this, you can even bring one hand on the belly, one hand on the ribs or the chest. And again, a few moments just to lengthen the breath here. So if you can allow the breath to get longer as you breathe in and slower as you breathe out. Maybe noticing that as you inhale, there's this sense of lift or expansion. So we inhale and maybe the belly lifts, the side ribs move, the chest might even lift. And as you exhale, the chest sort of softens down, the ribs knit in, the belly hugs back towards the spine. We'll just do this 3 more rounds. Full breath in, finding expansion and space. Long, steady breath out, slowing the breath down. And then starting to have this sense or this idea that as you breathe out next, the belly just sort of hugs up and in towards the spine. A big part of what can stabilize or create strength for the core and for our spine. So inhale, full breath in, expanding. And exhale, finding this idea that the belly hugs up and in, creating support for the spine, for our core. 2 more breaths like this. And then we'll move just a little bit. So on your next exhale, begin to bend the knees. Hug both knees in towards the chest and rock side to side. Good. And then bring your hands either on the knees so the fingers face the toes and the bottom parts of the legs are relaxed, or hands can come behind the thighs if that feels most accessible. And then go ahead and relax your shoulders, relax the back of the head down. Take a full inhale, allow the knees to move away from the chest, extending the arms, but notice that my hands still stay on the legs. That's what we want. Good. On your next exhale, slowly begin to hug the knees in towards the chest as you hug belly towards spine. So easy, simple movement, knee to chest pose. Inhale, knees move away, arms extend. Good. Exhale, super slowly, knees hug in, belly moves towards the spine. Let's do 4 more rounds like this. Inhale, knees move away, arms extend. Exhale, super slow, belly hugs in, knees hug into the chest. Good. Inhale, knees move away, arms extend. Exhale, everything hugs in. Twice more like this. And this, as you might feel, just helps to slowly and subtly stretch the muscles of the low back, which tend to get really, really tight the more we sit, the more we're stagnant, even lying down. Good. And then when you finish your last one, go ahead and bring your right foot to the floor. Keep your left knee in towards the chest. We'll grab our strap or belt or tie or whatever you have. It doesn't matter. Maybe yours is chewed up just like mine is from my dog. And then go ahead and loop the strap right where the ball and the arch of the foot meet. And when you're ready, extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. I like to really grab the strap with both hands and extend the arms, but still allow the shoulders to soften. So you're not doing all the work lifting up by any means, but rather relaxing the arms down. Let the toes draw back towards your face, so flexing the left ankle. And then while you're here, probably noticing a stretch in the back of the leg, the hamstring, maybe the knee, maybe the calf, or maybe even the foot. What we don't want to feel is sharp pain behind the knee. And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with the sensation in the back of the leg, the more you bend the leg, the less you might feel. All right, notice what happens if you're curious and want more. When you spread the toes nice and wide and even hug that pinky toe back towards you. Stretching a bit of the hamstring, most likely, the back of the leg. And these muscles, when they're really, really tight, can actually pull on the muscles, the vertebrae, the discs of the low back, furthering or causing low back pain. Little tidbit there. All right, so you guys, if you're doing this at home, you could stay longer. We're going to keep moving, so we'll bring the strap into the left hand now. Keep your right hand on your right hip as a reminder to keep that right hip grounded. Good, and then as you inhale, slowly begin to reach your left leg out to the side. Again, flexing the left ankle. And you just want to go far enough so you feel a stretch and sensation, but not so you're grasping for air or anything like that. And let's just take a few long, steady breaths. The longer, more steady of a breath we can maintain and sustain, the easier it is for our nervous system and our body to relax into this. As you can probably feel, this gets more into the inner part of the leg, the thigh, the groin. One more breath here, softening as you inhale. Still feeling that stability as you exhale and the belly draws back. Good, next inhale, we'll draw that leg back to center. You can bring both hands up or use just one. But from here, just slowly guide your leg over to the right. And for some of us, it might feel good to go an inch. Some of us may want to go a little bit further, even 6 inches. And again, you may feel this still in the back of the leg, or you might feel it on the side, the outer part of your leg, moving up towards the IT band, which gets really, really tight, also pulling on the low back. And some really long, steady breaths are super important here because this one can be really, really intense. Keep the toes hugging back towards you. If you want to experience a little bit more sensation, press your big toe mound. So when I say big toe mound, literally right here, press that away from you, as if your big toe is moving away from your left hip. Take 2 more breaths. Big, soft inhales, long, steady exhales. Good. Go ahead and inhale, bring your left leg back to center. Bend your left leg, release the strap, and bring the strap out to the side. Good. With your right leg bent, bring that same leg we just did, the left foot, across the right thigh. Make sure your ankle isn't rounded and sickled, but rather you're flexing the ankle so the toes point back towards the knee, protecting our knee. All right. So either you'll stay here. Maybe you want to lift your right leg off the floor just a little bit so you feel stretch and sensation in the back, or the outer, I should say, left thigh. And then if you want more, you'll lift your leg enough and interlace your hands either behind the right thigh or in front of the right shin. But never forcing the stretch, just staying with the breath. One of the hardest things about yoga for a lot of people is the patience, the staying present to the breath, staying present to the body and what's happening, and letting all the other stuff go, even when all the other stuff feels more important. One more big breath. See if you can make it your longest, slowest breath yet. And then when you feel ready, if you lifted your right leg, you'll plant it on the floor. Go ahead and plant your left leg on the floor and just pause there. You can either extend your legs all the way out or come into constructive rest pose and just pause for 2 breaths. Notice how the side we just moved and stretched, how that feels compared to the other side. Good. And then when you're ready, round to the other side. So left foot stays on the floor, right knee draws in towards the chest. We'll bend our right leg, loop the strap right where the ball and the arch of the foot meet, and go ahead and extend our right leg up. Bending this knee as much as you need to feel safe, but also a little bit comfortable. Remembering that sometimes stretching can be a little on the uncomfortable side, but as long as there's no sharp pain specifically, that's okay. All right. This side might be different, so going slow, walking your arms with the straps so the arms are long, shoulders relaxed a little bit. Let the toes draw back towards you, spreading them wide and hugging even that pinky toe back towards you. And then pausing for a couple more breaths. I don't know about you guys, but for me, this leg feels not quite as intense as the other side. Sometimes the right leg for a lot of us is our dominant side, so it can feel tighter, especially if we drive a lot. All right, when you guys are ready, you can always stay here for longer. You can always pause the video. Otherwise, we'll bring the strap into the right hand and slowly guide the leg out to the right. And again, you just want to be somewhere where you feel a stretch, but not too much. And for me, I've landed in quite the perfect spot where my leg just rests on the wall. This is lazy man's yoga. But it's in that perfect position where, again, I feel a stretch, but I can breathe and stay present. One more breath. Notice if your leg is shaking. Then when you're ready, bring that leg to center. Bring your left hand to your left hip just to stabilize it so it stays rooted. And then as you exhale, bring that right leg over to the left. And again, it might be an inch, it might be a few. Keep the toes hugging back towards you, and that might increase your stretch a lot or maybe even too much. So again, bend your knee if you need to. Otherwise, imagine pressing that big toe mound away from your right hip. And then the breath again is steady. The mind is present. We're just here with our breath, with our body, with our sensation. Getting into this IT band, the outer part of the leg that again gets super tight. All right, one last breath. Full inhale again, deepest breath yet. All right, when you're ready, bring that leg back to center. Just go ahead and bend the leg, release your strap. Bring the strap off to the side. Bring your right foot to the left thigh now, and either you'll stay here flexing the right ankle to protect your right knee, or if you want a little bit more, maybe just lift the left leg so you feel a little more stretch on the outer right hip. And if you want more, hands interlaced behind the left thigh, or if you want more, in front of the left shin. Pause in here, softening the shoulders. Soften in your breath. Maybe soften the jaw, the muscles around the eyes that get really tight. And imagine that you could soften even the space around your right hip. So that breath by breath, moment by moment, the muscles could relax just a little bit more. Good. When you feel ready, go ahead and bring your left foot to the floor if you lifted it up. Bring your right foot to the floor and pause there. Again, legs either extend or come into constructive rest pose with the knees bent, knees drawn towards each other. 2 breaths. Full breath in, full breath out. All right, guys, from here we're going to come into a twist. If you know in twisting that you don't have a lot of mobility, maybe you know this already in your spine or particularly your mid-back, it may be good to grab a blanket or a pillow, unless you have something like a bolster nearby. And if so, we'll start on the left side, so twisting to the left. So if you have something, just bring it right around your left hip midsection area. When you're ready, hug the knees into the chest. Bring your arms out wide, either bent at the elbow or you can bring them out into a T. All right. Then lift your feet just slightly up so the legs are closer towards a 90-degree angle, but maybe not quite there. Take a full inhale here, and as you exhale, hug the legs towards each other without moving the legs at all. So inhale, just stay here and soften, filling up. Exhale, imagine hugging the thighs towards each other, so perhaps feeling a little bit of the core turning on here. We're going to just slowly go side to side before we stay in a twist. So inhale here. Exhale, imagine hugging the legs, the thighs towards each other. Move the knees slightly over to the left, maybe an inch, maybe 2. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly make your way back to center and then over to the right. Again, hugging the legs together as you move. Inhale here. Exhale back to the left. Maybe an inch or 2 further than you were before, but not quite on the ground yet. Make sure your spine feels good. You feel strong through the core. Next, exhale over to the other side. So back to the right, hugging in, using the strength of our core. Good. Inhale here. And then as you exhale again, legs hug towards each other. Bring the legs back through center, over to the left. So that the outer left thigh would either rest on the bolster or pillow or blanket that you have, or maybe just the floor. And you'll know you might consider getting a prop of some sort if your right shoulder really hikes up when you're coming up into this twist. Otherwise, when you feel settled, if it feels good, your gaze can be up towards the ceiling or in the opposite direction of the legs. Let your right arm soften down. Take a few breaths here. Really feeling that idea of space and expansion as you breathe in. And stability as you breathe out. One more breath. Good. If your head is turned, we'll bring it back to center. Bring your arms back out to the side. Take a full inhale. As you exhale, hug the legs towards each other. Hug the belly towards the spine. Lift the legs back up. If you used a prop, you'll just bring the feet down. Bring your prop over to the other side or just scoot a little bit over. All right, when you're ready, round 2, hug the knees towards the chest. The arms are wide. Legs almost in 90 degrees. Take a full breath in. And then when you're ready for the exhale, let the legs draw towards each other as if you're squeezing the thighs towards each other, hovering over to the right just off the floor. Good. Next exhale, just let the legs drop all the way over to the floor. And again, gaze either up towards the ceiling or in the opposite direction of the legs. Take a few deep breaths here. Big inhale, finding space. Expansion through the lungs, the ribs. Find an inhale, bring the head back to center. As you exhale, hug the legs towards each other, bring them all the way back in. Go ahead and bring the feet to the floor and just check in. Make sure you feel good. And then we'll finish up here with what I call as Baddha Konasana, or bound angle. A little bit of a strengthener for the core, for the inner parts of the legs. But it's also good to do symmetrical poses after one-sided. All right, so bottoms of the feet together as you see, outer edges of the feet are on the floor, knees out open to the side. Now if it feels like too much either on the inner parts of the thighs, the outer parts of the thighs, or even the back, it might feel good to bring something like 2 pillows or 2 blocks or blankets underneath the thighs so they're just propped up a little bit. My thumbs are kind of doing that right now, but you can put props under there instead. And then just make sure that you can hug the belly towards the spine and kind of lift the hips just slightly for a moment here and move or imagine moving the tailbone towards the heels. And then go ahead and bring the hips back down towards the floor. And what I want there is to feel like the low back feels a little bit longer, especially for those of us with a more curved low back, or lordosis is what it's called, when essentially the butt kind of sticks out just a little bit. All right. So take a full inhale and exhale here. We'll be here for a couple breaths as I prep us. So the name of this game, we'll call it, is to stay and pause on the inhale and to move on the exhalation. And what we're going to be doing is super, super slowly moving the legs towards each other so they end up coming together with the feet on the floor. And I'll guide you as we go. But what I want you to do is to super mindfully slow down. So slow down the movement, slow down the breath, slow down the thought process in your head, enough so that you're just moving and breathing and going. All right. So we'll start with a full inhale. As you fill up, arms can be wherever feels comfortable. On your next exhale, imagine pressing the bottoms of your feet towards each other and super slowly drawing the knees 1/4 of the way together. On the exhale, the legs move. Pause at 1/4, inhale fully. Notice if your legs are shaking, that's okay. On your next exhale, bottoms of the feet press towards each other as you move the legs 1/2 of the way together. So again, super slow movement. If I was watching you, you almost wouldn't even want to see the legs moving. Inhale at 1/2. And exhale when you're ready, 3/4 of the way. Shaking again is normal, and as long as you're not in pain, that's okay. Building strength, moving through discomfort. All right, pause when you're at 3/4, inhale. And then exhale when you're ready, all the way together, super slowly, so that the bottoms of your feet end up coming to the floor. Your knees come towards each other, and the inner thighs come towards each other. All right, we'll do that twice more, guys. Again, challenging you to slow down even more this time. Take a full inhale when you're ready. As you exhale, slowly press the bottoms of your feet together as you move the knees 1/4 of the way together. Pause there, inhale. Exhale when you're ready, 1/2 of the way together. Super, super slow movement. Feel those inner thighs work. Feel the belly hug and work. Yes, yes, yes. Good, pause there, inhale. When you're ready for the exhale, 3/4 of the way. Pause there, inhale. Exhale all the way together. Again, super, super slow movement. Feel those legs, that core work. Yes. All right. One more time, guys. You've got this. Again, slowing down. Take an inhale, filling all the way up. Nothing but the breath. As you exhale, bottoms of the feet press together. Super slowly, the legs come 1/4 of the way together. All right. Pause there. Inhale. Go at your own pace. Again, if I'm too fast or too slow, you do you. Exhale when you're ready, half the way. Long, steady breath out, challenging mind and body to slow down. Pause there, inhale. The legs might definitely be shaking now. All right, exhale 3/4 of the way, super slow movement. Helping you be more present, more mindful, more conscious. Pause there, inhale. All right, last leg, guys, super slow all the way together. My legs are shaking. As you can feel as you finish up here, this is strengthening not only just the front, or what we consider our core, six-pack core, but all the way around. Big support for our spine. It also helps to create support on the legs, the inner parts of the legs, the outer parts of the legs. Then we'll just pause for a few breaths, back in constructive rest pose or legs extended. And as you settle the breath back down, then slowing it down, becoming present, notice how you feel in your body from where you started. How does your low back feel? Your mid back, your upper back, your hips, your leg? How does your breath feel? How does your mind feel in this moment? Again, becoming more present and conscious. And then when you're ready, if you close your eyes, you can blink your eyes open, hug the knees towards the chest, rock to one side. All right, guys, that is your mini healthy back class. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if this helps. Let me know when you watch it. Let me know if you want more. Let me know all the things. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.